Did you know that everybody you see alive today actually has 4 lives? 4 lives. Every single individual you see, either you know the person or not, everybody has 4 lives. And I'm submitting this to you, and I'm not saying it arbitrarily. It's not an assertion. It's a fact. Now, the first type of life every individual portrays is what we call the public life. This is what everybody knows about an individual. Friends, general, spontaneous acquaintances. This is what people tend to, present themselves as. But then they have 3 other personalities or life instances that they are not showing in that particular case. The second type of life that everybody actually has is the private life. This is preview to only close personnel, only close people, family, friends, close friends, really close friends. There are some things that only your close friends know about you. Or maybe only your close friends know the kind of food you like. Only your close friends know the disgusting things you might do that maybe generally people might not know, but only those people who are close to you. Family, because maybe you might be living in the same house. Your friends, maybe because they come around. Your brothers, your sisters, maybe because they know you very well. And then thirdly, people have secret lives. Secret lives. These are things that only they themselves know. Nobody else knows. Nobody. No matter who the figure is, no matter how pivot the person is to their lives, that person can never have that body of information about them, that body of knowledge. You can't know that about that a person. So people have the public life. They show that the flashy lifestyles, the celebrity life, the social life. Then they have the private life, preview to limited number of people, family, friends, very close friends. And then they have secret lives, thirdly. This only them know. And the last type of life everybody has is the life he or she doesn't know he has. He or she doesn't know he or she has. Everybody has this. There are some things I submit to you that right now you don't even know you can do. Right now, I can tell you holistically and without contradiction, incontrovertibly, that there is something that you are capable of doing that eventually when you do it, you might not believe that you could actually have done something like that. It might be good, it might be bad, it might be neutral, it might just be just anything. But then as at today, right now, you don't know you have that capacity, that capability. You don't even know that you have the mental construct to do such a thing. I believe and I submit to you right now that I personally take the view that everybody has a life that he or she and the whole world hasn't been exposed to yet. Now, what is it? I'm not putting it towards that it must be good or it must be bad, but then it is a fact. And I believe you can identify with me. You can resonate with what I'm saying right now. There are some things that you do sometimes and you feel like, oh, did I just do that? It's in you. You might just do something and then you just feel like, okay, I can't believe I just do that. I just did that. But it's always been in you. My advice for us today is that we focus on finding the positive traits that are buried inside of us that we are not yet manifesting, but are necessary for the realization and accomplishment of our purposes. It's very important. It's very important you figure out, what can I really do? What can I do that I'm not yet doing? I'm talking of positive things, impactful things, things that the world can actually benefit from, appreciate you for. That's what I'm talking about, and everybody has this. I'm going to give us this story of before I became an entrepreneur. The word entrepreneur, people sometimes mistaken for entrepreneur. So entrepreneurship is different from entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur is a person who is exposed to every risk his business has, every risk that he or she takes up whenever he goes into a business. But an entrepreneur might be a highly functional person within an organization that is being paid. That is somebody that enjoys the security of a steady paycheck. So before I became an entrepreneur, starting to do my own thing, go into business for myself, and act on my ideas, I was an entrepreneur. And funnily and interestingly, I was at an office for an interview, and this was somebody I had acquired some level of education, and my dad decided to show me to a friend of his. His name was Mr. Michael, and Mr. Michael had a firm that he had generously decided to make me his personal assistant. And my dad also made him to understand that he didn't only want me to work with him, but then he wanted him to mentor me in life generally. He wanted him to be my mentor. So when I went to Mr. Mike, he didn't see me as an employee. He saw me as somebody that he was literally mentoring and shaping for the future. So he asked me questions that normally an employee wouldn't be asked. And those questions to me, I think, changed my life. And at the point where he asked these questions, I wasn't really privy to the answers. I wasn't exposed readily to the answers. So I found it difficult to give him a satisfying answer. So he wasn't really satisfied with my answer. But then later on, in terms of retrospection, I actually found out that, okay, fine, those questions are very pivot to life. Ladies and gentlemen, I have deduced, I have narrowed down, I have adumbrated all human existence to 6 questions. 6 questions. Every motive every human being has, everything we do from our work to our careers, our social lives, our spiritual lives, our political affiliations, everything we do as human beings, I have deduced to 6 questions necessary to be answered. That is what motivates our entire existence. That is what everybody, from the person hawking in the street, to the CEO up there, to the spiritual leader, to the political leader, to the social capitalist, everybody is striving intentionally and conscientiously to answer these 6 questions. And I'm going to submit it to you today for free. Absolutely free. Totally free. Without charge. The first question that every human being must answer, and is trying to answer, either you know it or not, either you are in keen to answering it or not, you are actually trying to answer this question for yourself. And the question is, who am I? This was the first question he asked me. Now when Mr. Michael asked me that question, I said what I think he was expecting me to say. I told him the person I was coming from, my dad. I told him what I wanted. I just introduced myself based on my patriarchal personality from my dad's side, right? And I saw that he wasn't satisfied. Mr. Mike, very intelligent, very articulate man. So I'm asking us the question today, who are you? I wouldn't want to today is not about me, it's about you. All right, today is about you. So who are you as an individual? Who are you? I'm not talking about your father's name. I'm not talking about what you do. Many times when you ask people question, who are you, what they tend to bring forth is their profession. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an engineer, I am this, I am that. But that is not who you are. What you do is not who you are. What you do is not who you are. So who are you as a human being? What summarizes your belief? What is the repertoire of beliefs that you have? What defines you as a person? What precepts, what belief systems do you have that define you as a person? Who are you? I wouldn't want to go in depth so we can have an open end to think freely. Just think widely, spirally. Just like a spiral, just think, fantasize. Who are you? And believe me, if you pay attention to every thought that comes to you and catches it, you would just get your answer right. I believe that, and I trust, and I'm submitting to you right now that I take the view that you need to answer that question and you need to make it intentionally. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? The second question I was asked by Mr. Mike is the question, where are you from? That one is a tough question. Now don't forget what I'm trying to say. I'm telling you right now, even if I'm using my personal story to illustrate or bring it, mitigate it and make it understandable. It's not about me today, but I'm trying to make it simple so that we can relate. But today we are talking about something very important. So where are you from? Where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been as an individual? Where have you been? Your past. This comprises of the decisions you've been making, the personalities you've been hanging around with, the things you've accomplished so far. Where have you been? What has been taking up your time? The unit of life is time. The unit of destiny is time. So to this very point, what has been taking up your time? What have you been investing your time into? Is it positive? Have you been investing your time with dream killers? Have you been investing your time with those people that come around you? All they do is waste your time. They don't contribute anything to your life. They come, they mitigate you. They belittle you. You submit something that is destined worthwhile. And the only thing they can tell you is how unqualified you are. Where have you been up to this point? Where have you been? And the next question I'm going to is, what brought you here? What brought you here? The decisions, the people you've hung around with, the things you've engaged yourself into, the personalities you've yielded yourself, your ears to. What brought you here? What brought you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Are you here because you've taken or submitted yourself to a lot of wrong decisions? Are you here because you've been cowardized and dastardly? Are you here because you've been Anastasius? Are you here because you've been complacent? Are you here because you've been sanctimonious? Why are you here? The definition of insanity is you doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I think it was Socrates that said the unexamined life is not worth living. The life you do not examine is not a life to be lived. So whenever you find yourself in a situation, in a position, you need to make it habitual. You need to mannerize it, to analyze, to examine what brought you here. Why the decisions, the things you've done, the places you've gone, the people you've yielded yourself to, the mentorship you subscribe to, the time you've spent with who. The time you spent with who. Very importantly, what brought you here? Now, if you don't like what brought you here, if you don't like where you are, the only sane thing, and I say this daringly, the only sane thing is for you to change what you were doing. It's that simple. Change what you were doing. I might sound pejorative in a sense. I might sound exaggerating, or I might define it whichever way, but I'm submitting it to us today that you are the sum total of your thoughts and decisions till this point. Whatever you are right now, a medical doctor, congratulations. A poor medical doctor, congratulations. A politician, congrats. An engineer, congrats. A nobody, congrats. A colonel, congrats. Somebody in destitution, somebody in penury, congrats. But I tell you right now that whoever you are right now, it is because of a summation of your thoughts and the decisions that you took in consistency and conformity with those thoughts that have brought you here. So why are you here? Why are you here? And what can you do from now? What can you do? That's my next question. What can you do? Now, it is a norm. In fact, people clap for people who function way below their capacity, way below their potentials. They say the definition of a genius is just using 1% more of your brain capacity. So you just use 1% more and everybody goes like, holy moly. Like, hello, just 1% more. That's how humanity has subjected itself to complacency, inertia, the unwillingness to improve, the unwillingness to take action, the unwillingness to be conscientious in improvement. That's what most people, I wouldn't want to say everybody, but most people are guilty of this. So they are guilty of the will to feel. Now, many people, I read this from a book, Wake Up and Live by Mrs. Brande. She said that everybody, knowingly or unknowingly, has a will to fail. So people deliberately function below what they know they are capable of, and then when they do something and then people start clapping, they resort to complacency, and then that's it. Even if they are capable of doing so much more, they just resort to complacency. It is not supposed to be like that. Seek for improvement. Seek to push yourself beyond the boundary. What can you do other than what you are doing right now? You need to challenge yourself. You need to know what is there for you. There is something out there for you. You can't just resolve to your current position. You need to break loose of that blindness, that blurriness, that obscurity. You need to break loose of it, that mentality that limits you to complacency. Take yourself or vote yourself off the island. I dare you. Why are you here? What can you do now? What can you do that I can pay you for? That's my question to you. What can you do that I can pay you for? Because like it or not, everybody you see in life today is self-made. But only the successful will admit it. Everybody, be it wherever you are self-made. You made yourself. But only those who are successful will pride in that reality. So people just resolve to their alibis, their excuses. So instead of them figuring out why what they need to do for a change, they complain, they censure, they become cynics. It's disturbing. It's I don't know. It's disheartening. But then you need to vote yourself off that island. Seek for personal development. Seek for a way to know what you can do. How can you improve yourself? There is something you can do now that you don't even know right now. I didn't know I could do what I am doing right now. I never knew it. In fact, I doubted myself. I resolved that it couldn't have been me. It couldn't have been me doing what I'm doing right now. But guess what? I took the step. And guess what? I'm doing it. Against the cynics, against the criticizers, against those people that say, who are you? Who do you think you are? What do you think you want to do? Do you think you can do it? Do you even know where you are coming from? Nobody has ever done it. These voices are going to come. Even from your own head, they will reverberate in your head. But then you need to silence those voices, silence those noise. And these noise are not tacitly coming. They don't come tacitly. They come a clarion call, the clamor at you, a vociferation of you can hear it very glaringly, daring you, trying to limit you, to belittle you. But you need to find out what you can do, and I dare you right now to do it. And that takes me to my next question. Can you do it? Can you do it? Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to do it? It's a different thing for you to know what you are capable of, and it's a totally different thing for you to be willing to do it. Because if you come on, there are many things that you are capable of today that you know you have the potential to do, but until you take the step, don't forget what I told you. I say your reward in life will be in direct proportion to your service. To your service. The world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you do with what you know, or what you induce others to do. I repeat, this is a quote from Napoleon Hill. The world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you do with what you know, what you induce others to do. That's it. You cannot build a reputation on something you're going to do. You can never build a reputation on something you are going to do. For it to even be called a reputation, it has to be something done. So, are you willing to do it? It takes a price to pay. It takes a price to be paid. And until you have the willingness, the courage to go after the fear, what those frightful things you see, those things that tend to make you feel as if, some people just feel as if there is dignity in resolving to failure. There is dignity in resolving to complacency, because the height or the intention or what it takes to succeed is a hallmark. It's high up there. So what they do is that they subject themselves or resolve to failure, and then they are okay with it because they think, oh my God, I can't do that. I can't go that stress. If you think failure is expensive, then wait for the bill. If you think success is expensive, rather, wait for the bill from failure. You think success is hard? You think success is expensive? Wait for the bills that failure will bring to you. And that takes me to the next question. Where are you going? Now, I deliberately tuned down right now. Where are you going? Where are you going with your life? Who are you? That was my first question. Who are you? Where are you from? The first question is the question of identity. The second question was the question of heritage. The third question, what can you do, is the question, why are you here, is the question of purpose. The fourth question, what can you do, is the question of potential. And now I'm asking you your question of destination. Where are you going? Where are you going? Without a vision, the people perish. Without a vision, you are a drifter. Without a vision, you are a loafer. Without a vision, you are subject to the winds of time. You are subject to the winds of time. The earth, I keep reiterating this. I keep repeating it consciously and deliberately. The earth has been around for 4 billion years now. Human consciousness, as far as we can trace back, has been for about 10,000 years. And the only two factors that have proven to be constant in all that time, two factors: time and change. Time and change. Everything is going to change. Everything within time is subject to change. And everything is subject to time. So there is nothing that won't change. You are going to change. 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you'll be 5 years older. Where are you going with your life? Can you define it in an adumbrated, concise, succinct way, without unequivocal, unambiguous, concise way, statement? Where are you going with your life? That's what you should get. That's what you should get. The vision will shorten your ignorance. It will cut it in half. Because you are ignorant, you are fully ignorant to the degree that you don't know your vision, you don't know where you're going. But once you know where you are going, your ignorance is cut in half. It is literally halved. So the next thing you need to figure out is how do I get there? But then your journey has been halfway. You've gone halfway your journey. So where are you going? What do you see? Where do you want to be? Just fantasize. What kind of life do you want to live? What's your perfect life? As an individual, I'm asking us this question, and I dare you not to answer my question now. I dare you not to answer it now, because it might just hit you and you might just give an arbitrary answer to it, but it wouldn't be the correct answer. It will just be out of impulse. And I'm asking this question. Take your time to answer it. Take it home as an assignment. Whenever you just sit down, it will take you at least 24 hours to get to the answer of this question I'm about to ask you. And here goes the question. If you had all the money you want, if you had everything you want, the kind of car, the kind of house, the kind of family, the perfect life, as you may call it, if you had such a life, the finances are no problem. You don't have to work for money your entire life. If you had such a life, you don't need to work for money. Whatever you're doing after that, it's not for money, because you have all the money you want. What would you be doing? That's my question. What would you be doing if you had all the money you want? The cars you want, the houses you want, the wife you want, the children you want. Your children are good children. What would you be doing? That's my question. Now the answer to that question is your passion. That's your passion. Now there are many people that fall into the fallacy of hasty generalization, and then they just resolve to say, come on, if I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't be doing anything. But that's a lie. There is something that is burning. Everybody on the earth has a purpose. There is something you alone can do on this earth, and I'm waiting for you to do it. And what is that thing? Because that's the only thing that you can do. You will sing to yourself, even if they don't invite you for a concert. You will write, because that's what has been given to you to do. You will orate, you will construct, you will build. You don't know how to do, learn. You don't know how to do it, learn. Follow your passion, because that is you. That is you. Whatever you've been doing up to now, you might be an employee to somebody right now, fine. You're working for a salary, fine. But then you need to find out where your passion is leading you to, and then eventually resolve to doing it, to sticking by it. Stick by it. Stick by your passion. First question, who are you? Second question, where are you from? Third question, why are you here? Fourth question, what can you do? Fifth question, are you willing to do it? Sixth question, where are you going? Where are you going? And to the Pathfinders family, I say thank you, because sometimes it really touches my heart to see the reactions that people drop when they see these videos. And I'm humbled. I'm literally humbled. And I'm going to take this for the first time ever to say thank you officially in this video. Thank you. Thank you for the Pathfinders family. Thank you for submitting yourself to learning. Thank you for submitting yourself to conscientious, thoughtful learning, mentorship. All right, I really appreciate that. And I promise you, I am here, and I'm here to do this with you. I'm here to show you what needs to be done, how it needs to be done. And thank you very much. And keep it up. Spread the word. Spread the word. I've seen some sharing, some reposting. I know some people have it in their hearts to spread the word, and please do. It's important. Young people, especially Africa, needs to know this. It needs to know what we are trying to convey here, and put it into conscious and cautious use, practice. Because it is time. If not you, who? If not now, when? The time is right. The time is right. I submit this to you. You have to do what you can where you are with what you have. Stop waiting for the situations to be right. Stop waiting for the support to be complete. Stop waiting for all the resources. Do what you can where you are with what you have. And thank you. And this video, please share it, take it round. Our intention is not necessarily celebrity status or publicity, even if that's a good thing in itself, but then people tend to misinterpret cynically, deplorably in fact, what we do here. But don't pay attention to that. Share to as many as you can find and see, whatever groups. Just spread the word out. People need to hear this, and Africa as we know, Nigeria as we know, we need to rise. The time is now. The time is now. If not you, who? If not now, when? Thank you for your time, and I really appreciate. To the Pathfinders family, thank you. My name is Olem Isaiah.